Hello, all you delightful creatures, and welcome back to my little corner of the internet. My name is Turk, and this is the Laughing Fox Tarot, and I have for you all today another pick a card reading. Um, Before we get into the reading, just a quick catch up. I know it's been a while since I've posted. I am in another kind of sort of living space and arrangement, and it's taken me some time to get settled in, as well as uh, time to fuss about trying to get a setup where like everything fits nicely and also there isn't a lot of background noise. Well, guess what? I have failed at that, but I am finally settling on something good enough, which honestly I feel like I need to be doing more of in my life. So here I am with a good enough setup. I apologize for any sounds that may come in the background, but this is the best I have for right now. Right. So for today's pick a card reading, I was thinking of doing something a little bit different. I've switched up the number of piles apparently. I guess I'm on threes now. I was doing fours for a while, but we're going into threes, and threes are a good number. They're often, to me, when I see threes, I think of connections with other people and like multiple people and like growing connections. Community is the number that comes to mind for threes. And perhaps that's kind of like a shift in my own energy, is more community oriented. The question that I wanted to ask for us all today was, what secret gifts lie in wait for us? And I feel like I feel like this question is important to ask because it's been coming up to me that sometimes it's good to know of these things ahead of time. For the fact that sometimes, if you've heard the phrase like, how can you receive if your hands aren't open and clear to receive? Like if you're holding on to too many things, you need to let go so you can receive, right? Well, that sometimes is very nebulous and like can leave me thinking, let go of what? Do I have to drop everything? Do I just have to sit still and just like be very like look around for everything and read into every situation and then like start to overthinking it? This reading is coming to mind because uh, to offer some more insight on specifically what is coming in, right? So that way we can be ready for it specifically and not have to worry about a bunch of different things. Can focus on a particular aspect of our life. So that's why I have the three piles here with three charms laid out. We have a mask here, like a ball mask. We have a key, a silver key. And we have a coin with, wouldn't you know, the number 3 on it. Right. So, again, today we're asking the question of what secret gift is coming our way. So we can get a little sneak peek onto some of the delights that we can look forward to. And so we may be better prepared for them. Right, so I'll give you a moment now to tune in with your intuition if you need a moment to pick a pile. I like to close my eyes and take a nice deep breath in. And as I exhale, I'll open my eyes, and whichever pile or piles that my eyes are drawn to will be the ones that have messages for me. Otherwise, connect in any way that you see fit, but I will see you over in your readings. Timestamps down below, as always. Okay, bye. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the mask charm, then this is your reading for today. Again, we're asking the question of what unknown secret is coming our way. And we have a mask here, and the first thing that I kind of really see with a mask is, the mask coming off. And this could perhaps be in love, like a unknown, perhaps somebody who has been kind of pining after you, kind of like this coming to light. But I think this is really for anything, any sort of situation coming to light for you. And it's something, it's unexpected, but once it comes to light, it's like it's really obvious afterwards, and especially in hindsight. right? It's the whole Superman and his glasses, and like that's his only disguise is as Clark Kent, is he's got some glasses on, but then people just don't know he's Superman, and it's kind of like those. Oh yeah, of course. um, so these cards will hopefully serve as some sort of confirmation along those lines to keep out. Maybe you'll start maybe you'll see this coming like as it's happening, and it'll be like just as the reveal's happening, like oh yeah, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and start with some runes first before we flip your cards over. We have, oh gosh, it's been fours again. I thought we were going for threes. We have the Needfire, Berkana, the Growth rune, Othelo, family, and this is the rune of rebirth, of sort of like death and rebirth. Okay, well, what did I say about connections in threes before when we had the three piles and growing our community? So we have Athela, which talks about like our inheritance, but it can also talk about our family and our connections related to them. We have growth, we have the need fires, we have all of these things kind of feeding into growing connections and growing our circle, really. And kind of with the rebirth rune here, I'm seeing that through some things have left, or no, some things are in the process of leaving. They've already left energetically, but in the physical, they haven't quite been let go of. And this might be either you holding on to a connection or somebody holding on to you, kind of continuing something even though you're not feeling it. Either way. And that's because I'm reading this in the advice position here, and this is already coming out as there is rebirth happening. And if we're asking kind of like what might be filling up our hands that is preventing like these other things we want, genuine connections, growing our community, growing our soul tribe, growing our whatever, right? There's a little bit of something here that's like, again, it's probably a lot more obvious once it's said and done than it is in the moment, because it's so difficult to acknowledge when endings have come to be. I feel like I might be getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but let's yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing with the runes. All right, this is a deep need here. Right, this is core to your well-being, and perhaps is a reason why you might not be feeling the best right now. Might be feeling a bit put out. Might be feeling a bit like you're not getting what you need from others. Let's go pull the heart of the matter. Gratitude. You fully appreciate the invaluable lessons that life lovingly presents to you. So there might be some frustration about your situations, kind of how you're connecting with other people, and the sorts of interactions that you're having with people. The cards are saying that this is because there's something that you're still needing to see in these connections, and that they're going to keep coming up because something at the root is causing them to come up, and they're going to continue to rise into your reality until you can see them clearly. And again, this is like the barest, these masks are very like, they're not flimsy, but they're very light material, and I'm seeing just like it is the smallest amount of separation from the reality of the situation and maybe what you want it to be. You have the wandering path, enjoy the journey. We have the fox here, and they have a map and a compass, like, and they're watching their destination. They know where they're going. And the path, or at least their next steps, are laid out for them. But I'm seeing they're kind of stuck here a little bit, maybe on this end goal of focusing on what there is they're trying to bring into this world, and that's very important, right? We want to manifest our dream reality, well, we need to know what that is. And there's a little bit of an energy of like having stopped on the journey for a moment to pull over, and it's like I'm revisiting, I'm checking the details, but there's something that has caused that stop, right? There's that hesitation to take those next steps forward because you know what those steps are, and you're not a big fan of them. So maybe if I can look here again, I think, I see them, they're trying to plot a different way, like their destination is still the same, the next step, right? And they're trying to plot, like, maybe can we find a way that doesn't go there? And just reviewing, like, is there a different way? Is there a way that this can be different? And as I get into this reading, I realize that this was a reading about blessings coming to us, like hidden blessings coming to us. So let's go ahead and pull some more cards here, because this is already coming off of a bit. I understand this is a very difficult thing. This is a very difficult time. The first blessing is like that you're right there. You're not. You might think, oh, I'm so held back because I can't let go, or I'm having so much difficulties. This fox has been on the journey. They've already been going on it. So already, perhaps a blessing you need to hear right now is just that you are being very hard on yourself in this regard. It's difficult. Goodbyes are painful for a reason, right? And the steps that you've taken already have been so many to bring you where you are right now. This is not an admonition. This is not judgment. This is acknowledgement of what you have gone through, and acknowledgement of what it is that you are working towards, right? That you are worth it. It's a reminder of what it is that you're looking for gratitude for what has come before, and gratitude for what you are drawing into your life, what the work you have done already to bring into your life, right? It's that peeling the mask away. That's the peeling of the Band-Aid, right? That painful moment where you it's painful, but you're there. You've done the healing. The Band-Aid has to come off now, and this is a gift you give yourself. Right? The universe can continue to shower us with experiences that don't meet our expectations, that don't meet what we know that we are worth, right? To remind us of our worth. But that's all it's going to do. Let's pull your tarot cards. We have the Emperor, and the Ten of Wands, releasing burdens, the Knight of Wands, and then the Six of Wands. A lot of fiery energy here, a lot of passion. So we have the Emperor, right? And I'm kind of being drawn to the rams on this card right now. I'm seeing there's a bit of a ram-headedness. That's not really a phrase, but hard-headedness. There we go. I got there eventually. There's a bit of a hard-headedness to this energy right now. It's very, they're very strong and set in their position. Just this pose even is very immutable. No, they're not going to budge. They're not looking to budge right now. They have an idea of what they want, right? They have their goal in mind. And in this energy, they are so sure of how to reach that goal. Like, what sort of people are going to help this goal? What sort of situations are going to help this goal be realized? And really the energy that's coming out here is one, you're going to be freed from having to worry about these details as much. Two, this is again a confirmation that what you do, what you are standing for, right? When you think of how you want to be treated by other people, what you are standing for is absolutely valid. right? The level of interaction and intimacy and trust and all these things that you want to share with people around you is absolutely valid. It is saying that the universe wants to take it over from here, right? This is the blessing, letting go of the need to control the situation, of the need to say how things should be, how you wish they might turn out, because they will. But this is the point where it is released to the universe, and it comes to you back in a way that is going to be millions times more magnificent, million times more interesting and special, and just uniquely your own, like, just wonderful experience that you couldn't possibly plan out yourself, that you wouldn't want to plan out yourself. You know, just imagine if that's what you were tasked to do. If the universe said, here, sit down, here's your piece of paper and pen, and you need to write out the next 10 years. Tell me exactly how your relationships are, every detail about them, you know, where you go, the things you succeed on, the things you fail on, you know, what you create and bring into this world. Write it all out, and that's what's going to happen. Would you really take that offer? And that's kind of the energy here is when we don't release that little bit of trust to the universe to guide how things will go. That's what we're asking to do. And we can try to do that, but in your heart, I wouldn't imagine, I don't think that's what you would want. Right? We have the 10 of Wands, releasing a burden. It's a heavy burden to bear, to have to manage everything in our lives. It's a lot. It keeps our hands full for everything. Like, it keeps our hands full from anything else happening, because we're trying to manage situations, manage people. If you're someone in this position, I feel like you might have a difficulty. I'm trying to see here. Yeah, with the 6 of Wands, you might have a difficulty of seeing the potential of people more than the actual people, and that's not a bad thing. It's a beautiful trait to have, right? The 6 of Wands, they're this leader here who inspires people, and that's because they can see the best in people. But just because you know everyone's potential, you know your own potential, doesn't mean that people are necessarily going to embody that right now, or embody that because, well, they will because of you. You do inspire them, and I think perhaps you know that, or you know, you hope to, but you do. But their journey, their growth, all happens on their time and in their own ways, and it's not as much of a matter of whether or not they end up falling within your circle. I mean, I'm seeing literal, like, the circle of the wreath here. Like, they are, but maybe now's not the right time, right? Think of how long you've been on your own journey. Imagine that, you know, you've inspired people to go on their own journeys, but how long will that take for them? How many years might that be before they find themselves in a place similar to you, where they can match your sort of energy? Maybe not as long. Maybe, I mean, that's the beautiful thing about more and more people doing this sort of work, is it gets easier and easier as we pave paths forward. It's not to say that it's not still very difficult, but you know, that's part of what the inspiration does, is it uplifts more and more people. It grows, and you're a part of that. And so there's this, with this energy in reverse, is a little bit of a focus on, like, the people around you and wanting to see those changes permeate around you. I think you've probably heard, you know, change yourself and see the world change around you. And you've been seeing the changes within you. You feel this more for yourself, right? And then you're wondering, why are the people around me not matching that? Why are they not catching up? Why am I leaving them behind? I think is a big energy here. And that's where the letting go comes in. Like, am I leaving them? Is this it? Is this over? I think with these people, no, it's not the end. But for now, for what you're bringing into your life, for your next stage of your journey, you may be putting some distance between you and them in whatever ways that are that you feel that you need. and more of that energy is going towards you, right? This is the burden of worrying about everyone else in your life, worrying about where they're at, how they're doing, how to help them be better, right? Maybe they're struggling, maybe they're suffering, and you want to see them change, and you are working on yourself, and again, you're hoping like that will help them, and it is. It absolutely is. I understand this is not like as much of a tangible blessing, but this, I'm just hoping this can serve as some confirmation if you're worried about losing these people or disappointing them. But I feel really, really, it's just this ache in your heart that is about like wanting better for their lives, better for their situations, and to be able to more directly help. You are helping, and I think that's really just the message that wants to come out here is you are helping, and you will be helping yourself and them even more once you take that final step. Really, again, the 10 is completions. You're there. You've taken the stop to reevaluate, and that seems very natural. Again, just how much you care, how much they're how passionate you are about these people, these connections, right? And there is a lot of emotion charged in that, and I think that's absolutely valid, that you have to stop for a moment and not rush through. The Knight of Wands, they can be somebody who wants to power through things, and I'm feeling like, given where the energy is built up, like once this starts moving, you will sort of be in this energy where it kind of like feels like things go rather swiftly. It might be a little scary to begin with, the rate at which things drop off. If you happen to live in any of the areas where trees tend to shed their leaves during the autumn, um, and you might look out one day and see a tree full of like still lush leaves and oranges and bright reds and maybe even some greens, and then you look at the next day and it's just like barren, right? It's that sort of energy that like is kind of scary, of like, oh man, what's going to be left after this? And but again, it's your hands being completely freed. It's that burden being completely freed, maybe one that you don't realize how much it weighs you down until it's actually set down. But the blessing is that the time is right. There's no wrong time. There's no wrong path to take. There's no wrong diversions. It is your journey. This is your choice. I should emphasize here, and I perhaps would love to do this more at the beginning of the readings. These cards are not in any way ever saying how you should do something or that you have to do something. They are only a little bit of guidance at best, and it is up to you to take them in the ways that feel right to you. So it's not saying that you have to jump out and do anything. It's only saying if you're feeling ready to move on, the signs are all great here for you and for the people involved, right? You moving forward is what inspires people. You chasing your own dreams and living in your own amazing energy, and not being, downtrodden by all the burdens that aren't yours, right? Shows other people how to do the same for their lives. How many people in your life right now are burdened by maybe things that they don't need to be, anxieties, and maybe not focusing on what maybe you can notice how some people don't focus on like what is the most helpful thing for them, right? And they get focused on these other things, and you can look at their situation and be like, man, you really just gotta like meditate some more. You gotta drop like all these things that like don't matter. Well, you've been doing that work. You know what matters to you. So uh, ride forward bravely is the timing. All right, beautiful, lovely pile number one. I know this was kind of a bit of a heavier reading. I can totally empathize, and really, I'm in a similar place. So, uh, I really do see just nothing but blessings. Like these are positive readings, right? This all of the readings that I put out, I try to be positive. But of course, this one was created with the intention of focusing on like the blessings, and this reading I don't think would be coming up unless you weren't ready. It's that last little bit of letting go and just saying like, okay, let's just see what happens. And you're ready. You're more than ready. You're ready to charge forward. Look at these horses, and just grasping what's yours. Beautiful, lovely pile number one. This was your reading for today. I hope it was helpful for you. I hope that you found it in a good time. If you enjoyed this reading, please do leave a like and perhaps a comment down below letting me know how you connected with it. I know I've been kind of slow to respond them, but again, I've been a little busy lately. If you would like to check out any of the other readings, timestamps are down below. If you like what I'm doing and would like to support me, I have a Ko-fi where I take just small donations of however much, usually just like the amount of to buy coffee, which I would likely spend on tarot stuff or neat rocks or stuff, but whatever. Otherwise, you can also book a personal reading if you wanted something more in depth and personal. Also, that is in the description. And yeah, oh yeah, you can also buy my runes too, which I hand sew, so those are available as well, like little bean bags. Okay, that is all for you, pile number one. Wishing you the best of luck on your journey, and until next time, take care. Hello, pile number two. If you chose this key as your trinket, then this is your reading for today. First off, the question we're asking again is, what unknown secret thing is coming our way? So we might be aware of it so we can be prepared for it. The message I'm getting with this key right off the bat is some situation that you've had that has been frustrating you. It hasn't been moving forward quite in the way that you would like. Some vital part of that is going to basically just kind of just drop into your lap. And the message here coming along with it is like the situation that maybe you've been pouring a lot of energy into, that you've been wanting to move forward, is saying that like there's been a key part that has not been available to you that has prevented it from moving forward. And there could be any number of reasons why that was the case. It could be a matter of just divine timing. It could be a matter of having some patience. It could be a matter of any number of reasons why this might be the case. But if you may have been feeling like you were failing or not trying hard enough or whatever may be the case, like this is coming to say like that you had no, this wasn't moving until this particular thing fell into place. But the good news is it's coming, and with these blessings, with this reading, I feel like I want to give a timetable right now, but this is soon. These are things that are coming up soon, and that's why some awareness is being brought to them. So if perhaps it's something that has been on your mind a lot lately that you have been working towards and it just hasn't been working, or something that you've dropped recently that you've just been frustrated and said like, I give up, and now you've not been sure what to do about it. Before I go on, let's go ahead and I just drew some runes from the bag here. So let's go ahead and check out some runes before we read your cards. We have the Elk Rune of Protection. We have the rune, oh my gosh, 5 came out. We have the Rune of Messages, the Rune of Fire and Breakthrough, the Rune of the Warrior, and the Rune of Strength. Well, there's a lot of positive energy here. There's a lot of success in this. If there is a dispute a legal battle, some sort of disagreement, it's absolutely coming out in your favor. There's a lot of, you have protection, you have strength, you have warrior, you have fire, you have messages, right, coming soon. Like, this is all already very positive. So like, if there's something that you're worrying about, uh the the messages are is it's taken care of. Still, do, if it is a matter of anything, uh if it is a matter of anything legal or anything specifics in terms of like contracts, maybe you're bidding for a contract and you've been wondering if a house is going to fall through or a particular engagement is going to come through, still do be vigilant on your end of the things, which is just making sure you've gotten your I's dotted, your T's crossed. Like, that's what you can do, but not worrying about whether that causes things to suddenly succeed overnight, right? They they are coming, and they're coming soon, and they're coming out in your favor. Do be vigilant, but don't be trying everything you can to make it go faster than it already is, because it's not going to. If you're waiting on an offer to close on a house, it's not coming any sooner than it will be. And otherwise you're just kind of wasting some energy in worrying, in hoping that it'll come too. This doesn't have to be any sort of thing related to like contracts or anything like that. This could just be some aspect of your life. You could just be wondering about something and seeking an answer, and it hasn't come to you yet. In which case, again, I'm still seeing those positive outcomes in terms of like getting the key, more of a resolution to something that's really been on your mind. Let's pull the heart of the matter here. We have respect. You value everyone's unique perspective on the path to love. We also have uncovering treasure. Oh wow, look at this. You have a treasure chest and a key. Beneath the surface lies great bounty. You can see here, a dragon is inspecting some rubies and an emerald and a pile of gold. We have the Four of Wands. Oh my gosh, could this be any more positive for you? The World. We have Death. And the Chariot. We have some very major cards coming out here. Yep, this is definitely a big important aspect of your life. One that has left you feeling a little bit like you are not in control of your situation, right? Because it's kind of gone out to the unknown. It's been taken, the reins have been taken from you on this one. And that's leaving you feeling like you're not necessarily performing your best. And so that's kind of like the first message coming right out of the bat. It's like any feelings of inadequacy or like you haven't done enough, any of that like is definitely not warranted. It's not serving you, and also it's not true, right? Just because we don't see those results right away and start to worry, which is natural, especially if things take on longer, and some things can take on a lot longer than we would like them to. If it feels natural to find ourselves in that energy. And that's kind of, what I talked about earlier, freeing up our hands, right? So freeing up ourselves a bit from that energy of worrying of things, so we can continue to focus on the foundations, right? We have your Four of Wands, like we have your dream house, your dream life, your dreams here being fulfilled. A strong, stable connection has been made here. Something very, very strong and very, very in line and in tune with you and your soul and what you desire and what is good for you and right for you, right? Like, that has been made, that has been launched out in the world. The work has been done. There is only gratitude to come from here, and it's gonna feel like the easiest sort in your life, because it's just going to be uniquely you, and that's just going to feel so good. We have the World. I'm seeing there's celebration here. There's again, this is kind of coming back towards like what is halting this energetically, and it's not literally making it take longer. It's only making it making the waiting period harder is there's a little bit of a repressed, like, bated breath of, like, not getting your hopes up too much, a little bit of, again, of that worry coming up. There's there's this kind of, like, they they have it, right? They have it there, and they're watching over it, and it's it's not I'm not feeling like a very strong energy here of this. There's this, like, it's kind of more background. Like, I'm not feeling like a very possessive energy. They are curled around this treasure, and they are watching it, right? But it's very light. It's very light in the background, but I feel like that kind of manifests more in a anxiety, which just doesn't feel good. It doesn't help anything, right? So, I think this reading is just coming out kind of a confirmation of, like, hey, you've done the work. You are aware of what it is you want. You know how to make your needs known, right? You've come to terms with what those things are, what you will and won't accept, what the treasure that you are worth, right? And now you're waiting, and that's the difficult part, because things don't always manifest instantly, or often don't manifest instantly in this reality. They take time, some longer than others. We have death here. We have endings, and that's what you've asked for, really. It's the ending that you've asked for is coming in the most absolutely positive way possible, right? New things come from when things end, and there was a theme of endings in the first pile as well. So if that's something that if you're drawn to that pile, you can go ahead and check that one out too. But yeah, this is absolutely coming up. Like, this is again, in terms of pushing things forward. Not more isn't being asked of you. If anything lands on your desk, like the next step, take the same amount of care and intuition and everything in terms of moving things forward. But, like, that's it. Your hands are up. The reins are out of your hands. It's going in a very positive direction here for you. Whether this ending is a situation in terms of just, like, where you're currently living, or what you're doing for a living, or the sort of connections in your life, whatever it may be, that the ending implies the beginning of the next, of the new, of what you have called in to your life. I think, this creative energy, which you've I think, been in a space where you've directed so much of that towards creating what you were drawing into your life, that it hasn't felt like there's been as much left to just enjoy the thought of it, right? So perhaps a little bit of a shift in energy could be, instead of worrying so much about, like, what can I do to make sure this happens? Like, what can I review? What can I go back and, like, double check? Or, this or that can I do to nudge things along? You can shift that energy a little bit, and maybe you just think about what it's going to be like when you get that new place, when that disagreement goes in your favor, when you get whatever it is that you're looking for, right? Just spend a little bit of time with that. And I'm sure you've spent a lot just in that energy, but now it's okay to come back to that. It's okay to just envision yourself having it, envision what's going to, like, start maybe thinking about what the plans are for that, right? Of when it comes through, of, okay, well, what are my next steps in terms of just the things that you're looking forward to. Maybe you don't have to plan. I'm not seeing here, like, a need to plan things out in terms of if, again, you were moving, like, what are the logistics of that? Not so much that, as it is just the feeling of what that will bring into your life, and maybe some of the things that you'd like to do as a result of that. Yeah, I kind of, it's a little bit later in the reading for this, but I'm going to go ahead and read Respect from this book, because I love to pull this out whenever I can. It's got some very lovely passages in it. I feel like there's something a little bit more with that card. You value everyone's unique perspective on the path to love. It is important for you to remember that everyone in this physical dimension has their own journey, filled with struggles and obstacles that are different from yours. They chose their life blueprint just as you chose yours. It is not your job to judge how they discover their way to love. Rather, it is your job to encourage them. By showing respect, you can earn respect. When someone comes into your space, they are immediately aware of your level of integrity and your willingness to help others. You carry yourself with a certain natural strength, and people look up to you. When you receive admiration, you may become a role model, and you have the responsibility of setting an example. As a role model, you must demonstrate love in all situations and a sense of compassion in every interaction. There is no greater way to gain respect than to accept others as equals, as fellow soul travelers. At the heart of this, respect is interesting. I'm feeling this a lot for you. You know, respecting yourself, respecting your own time. I'm feeling a lot of that energy that like has been going out to this is like absolutely a result of the self-respect that you have, and that's what's been driving these changes in your life. And I think there's a little bit of a faltering of this feeling again of and maybe you've felt in the moment like, okay, I need to go make that another call again. I need to go make that another nudge, or just sitting a little bit in a doubtful energy, right? Of, oh, I know I'm worth this, and I know this is what I want, and it feels like things are going good, but I don't have it right now. And what does that say about me? And am I really actually going to get this? And you know, that sort of like spiral. And so this is, again, there's just very gentle here nudge of like outside of that energy, like, no, you're good. You're good. Patience, you know, a lot of patience I think has been asked of you in this, but you've been doing amazingly with it, and that's again where the respect's coming. Like, look how much you've already done to get to where you are. You know, just hang in there. You know, with the warrior, with the strength, we have you're going to, first off, like, this just in your future energy, you are absolutely sticking with this. So any worries that you have, like, they're not derailing the situation. They're just serving to just make things a little uncomfortable for you right now. You know, this talks of like, be careful how you manifest, and don't spend too much time worrying, because you'll draw in those negative things. But this is so foundational to you, and so guided, and so something that you've like worked so hard towards, that this isn't a matter of the manifestation not coming through. This isn't just a matter of how you're feeling right now, and just saying you can take a deep breath and a nice heavy sigh, and know what you've asked for is coming for you. That's all I'm really seeing for you here, pile number 2. Is rather short and sweet. I hope that this reading was useful and helpful to you. If you found yourself drawn to any of the other readings, there can always hop over to those for any additional advice that you may be looking for. If you liked this video, please do consider leaving a like and a comment down below. I know I've been slow about getting to comments, but I've been rather busy myself, and I'm working on being better about that. If you would like what I am doing and would like to support me, I have a Ko-fi in the description where you can just send me a couple bucks, and as well as I do have a link where you can book a personal private reading with me if you would like one of those. Get a lot more in depth about your situation and any questions you may have. I as well do have a link where I make these hand-sewn runes. They're like little squishy beanbags, so if you ever thought about getting into those and like something kind of neat and different, I have those as well. All right, lovely pile number 2, wishing you the best of luck with your situation and a swift and happy resolution. Until next time, bye. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose this silver coin with the 3 on it, then this is your reading for today. Again, we're asking the question of what unknown secret thing is coming into our lives, that we may be aware of them and be ready to receive them. With starting off with this coin, the message I'm getting right off the bat, again, I've kind of been tuning into threes lately, and this makes me think of community. And I heard from someone recently, I'm terrible with quotes, so I'm just gonna mash it into my own words. Like when three people can come together and onto an agreement or something, like that's a really powerful thing. Like when three people of differing perspectives and backgrounds can see eye to eye in a situation and come at from these different angles, and they all like can see that same vision, right, from their own perspectives. It's like it's a very powerful thing. And so that's kind of what I'm seeing with the threes already, is like some person or situation is going to come in your life that really like offers that sort of different perspective, but like much needed perspective. And this could literally be in the form of a third party coming in to offer advice or guidance or assistance on a situation. It could be a business partner, it could be a mentor, it could be a adjudicator, someone who rules like fairly, justly. It could be any number of things, and just like very much needed for this situation. So that's the sort of thing that I'm already kind of seeing coming into this situation is that outside perspective. And I think, there's that's been called in, right? That has been wanted, really. You may have been feeling a bit lost and a bit like your own perspective hasn't been enough, like staring at the situation, trying to find a different solution or what have you, but not really seeing it and just being kind of frustrated. So I pulled some runes from the bag, so let's check out those before we move on further. We have the rune of Dagas, the Daylight rune, Rideho, the Travel, Gebu. It can be about contracts or connections. Hagaldaz, Hail, Destruction, Sowilo, Joy. Yeah, you're feeling a little bit like the situation is out of control, and like you're not able to manage it as well on your own. And part of that is because it wasn't meant for you to manage on your own, right? This is something that you've needed assistance with, and maybe either it could have been a timing thing where just assistance wasn't available, or maybe you weren't as open to assistance. But here, like this is the rune of contracts. This is the rune of agreements. There is an openness here on both sides, and that's indicating like where you are now moving into that energy where you're open to receiving help or assistance in this thing, and kind of even recognizing, like having that moment to recognize, like, oh man, that wasn't. I could not do this on my own. That will be absolutely apparent, especially after the fact, if you're not already aware of like how much like this was more than. I'm not going to say that you can't do it, because I feel like if I do, that might inspire some stubborn feelings. The point isn't that you can or cannot do it. It's just some things are easier when we have help, when we have the right kind of help too. It may be very well something that you're not terribly well suited for or even enjoy doing, and that's okay. And just finding ourselves in a place where kind of like the light breaks, light dawns, right? And things start moving a lot quicker through this connection, through this agreement or arrangement, whatever it is. Let's go ahead and pull some more cards here. We have the Heart of the Matter, Acceptance. You're ready to release control of situations or people and lovingly embrace the rhythm of life, right? So there's acceptance, and that's letting go of control and feeling like you need to be the one to really see the situation entirely through by yourself, right? When perhaps you've had a time of that already, and how well has that gone so far? Maybe not the best. Maybe it's been a big struggle. Maybe it's been a lot on your mind. So blessings coming in here is like releasing some of that burden for you. A lot of that burden, really. It's again, I don't want to understate the amount of power with like that third party, that other perspective, like how much that kind of just, when it shines a light on the situation and it just says like, wow, Like, the solution will seem obvious, but it'll also in that same instance be like, oh wow, I was never going to get this. Like, I did not have the right tools or perspective or background for this. And it's just gonna be like, I'm so thankful that this third, like, thing interjected to be able to see this from a different perspective. Because boy, where would I be if it hadn't happened? That's what you're going to be saying in some time. Um, we have narrow pathway, tread thoughtfully. You feel like you've been doing a balancing act, and just one small wrong step is going to send you flying overboard, and that's just not a very secure place to be in, right? This is kind of something that you're wanting to give up. There's this feeling of just being in it, being so like up and like just dangling, by a thread, and it's not a very stable place to be in. It's again creating this feeling Haggadah's hail. It's creating this feeling of chaos in your life, and looking for a solution. You're like in the storm, looking for the solution, looking for the way out. When this situation, this person, this whatever on this outside, like, can see that so clearly, just because of their unique perspective. It doesn't mean that you are any lesser or that you are not, capable. It just that's that's why we need community. That's why we need others, because we are not able to do it all on our own. And so you've been up there. You've been asking for this. You've been asking for someone, please help. Someone, please, or something, right? Come in and show me the way, or at least the next steps. We have the Empress here, the Nine of Cups, the Tower, and the King of Pentacles. Sorry, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, so with the Tower here, there's the Suilo's joy. It's also like the sorry, Woon Yu is joy. Suilo's sun, but it's like also like a very joyful, bright energy. But it can be very powerful too, and it's literally poised over this tower. And I'm seeing the situation as kind of like, it's feeling a little bit like a hit to your own perception of yourself and who you are, but for a very good way and very good reason, right? Because there's this person traveling alone on this bridge, and they're trying to shoulder everything on their own, and they're trying to figure out everything on their own. But then, like, in that moment, it's like, oh, I don't have to. Not only that, like, I don't want to. I don't want to figure out, like, all this stuff I've been struggling towards, all these things I've been trying to figure out that, like, I'm not as good at, right? Maybe maybe you have things like in your home that don't work out, and you try to fix them, and it just seems like they don't keep working, and you're just like, oh man, I don't even want to be doing this, and you're on like YouTube and stuff, and it's just not working for you, right? Well, it's just kind of like that realization afterwards, like, as like the aha moment hits, right? We have the sun, and we have the daybreak, right? It's like that shining light when this situation comes. It's like, aha, oh, I didn't realize, one, I was being kind of stubborn, and two, like, that I didn't want that. I don't want this. I don't want to be doing these sorts of things, right? Maybe if you're on this narrow pathway, you kind of got there because in the past you've had to, right? Due to survival, due to circumstance, you've been forced in situations where you have had to be resourceful, and you've had to push yourself out of your comfort zones. You've had to push yourself in places that you would not have ever otherwise, and you got to see some of your own strength there, and you got to rely upon that own strength, and that in of itself has been a great lesson and a great journey for you. But it comes to a point in our journey where it doesn't serve us as much. It becomes a burden, especially when we take it too far, and that becomes a part of our identity, right? When we see ourselves as this, oh, we are strong and we can do anything, but oh gods, we can do anything, and now, what could I possibly ask for help for if I can do this on my own? I should be the one taking care of these things, when there's somebody out there who can do this thing for you, who would love to help you with it, and also would be very good at it. They would take joy in doing it, and And I know I'm saying person, and really I do see a lot of person, right? We have the Knight of Pentacles, literally a uh, speaks of people. It could be more of a circumstance or a situation, but I'm definitely kind of seeing like a person coming in through here, um, who like, that's a little bit more of the aha moment of when you free yourself up and you realize like, man, I really didn't like doing that. You see this person actually like in their element, and then you remember there's things you're great at, right? Because you're not forgetting all that you've been through. You're not forgetting how versatile you are, how strong you are up when you are alone and up in a corner, right? Because it happens. It's life. It's amazing to know that strength. It's a harrowing journey to learn that strength. But it's a breath of fresh air when you can release that, having to bear everything on your own, and to free yourself up for the things that you enjoy, right? To realize, oh hey, there's actually things that you're much rather would be doing with your time, and in freeing up these stuck situations, that you'll find yourself more able to do those things and be that person even for other people in your life, which you have been. But it's I feel like it's been feeling a bit restricted, like you only have so much time to even barely give to yourself, let alone like anyone else in your life. And so, when you realize what it is that you are here to give, what you want to give, and what brings you joy, like that's just going to be like, oh man, that's all I have to do. I don't have to do all this other stuff. I don't have to bear all this other stuff. Not right now. It's not, there was a time in your life where you had to, and thank that thank that part of yourself that had to fight those battles and really had to struggle, and be grateful to yourself for having the strength to make it through, and you carry that strength along with you. Right, we have the nine of cups here, which I'm just seeing this flip right over. Like the moment it's like that daylight kind of just breaks through the shadows, and it's just kind of like this mucky feeling that's kind of the storm has kind of brought. Right, the moment it breaks through, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm immediately, this person is proudly like displaying their wares in themselves. Like there's a lot with the shedding of this perspective of yourself, really. There's immediately like below that is this part of you that has been looking for a little bit of breathing room that is afforded when we open ourselves up to help in our community and the assistance available to us. And yeah, the Nine of Cups and the Empress, both of these are just like ready to just write themselves over. The Empress is very, very confident and collected in knowing in like what they want and what they're worth, and they are not above they're not above like getting the help that they need, and knowing that like that's part of the strength too. I think it's a lot easier to recognize when other people need help and to give them that help, or to recommend that advice, than it has been for you to do that for yourself. Again, for good reason, in terms of your past and the things that you've been through. But this is literally like someone, I'm just seeing like having these issues, and they've been such a like a drag to you. They've been weighing on you. You've done your best to like patch things up and to fix things, and I'm just seeing you like taking a back seat and just watching in amazement as like all these things just suddenly clear up, as you're just like, oh dang, and just feeling good about it, right? You're going to feel good about it, they're going to feel good about it. And this person, again, everything is just ready to just kind of click into place here for you. This person, they're here to help. they are happy to help, just as you are happy to help in your own way, right? But they are waiting for their moment to be able to come right in. I'm seeing like kind of this like distance here between these two cars, and a little bit of that space is created from that last little bit of resistance of acknowledging, you know, when we need help, when to ask for it. And that Knight of Pentacles is ready to just ride in on the horse and just come right over and be like, I'm here to help. No strings attached, no anything like that. It's just, as you know, we don't live as a community without helping each other, without working together. We all have our strengths. They know their strengths. They're comfortable in their strengths. You know your strengths, but you want, maybe you think you need to be everything. Maybe that's a feeling that you have. Again, the past has shown you sometimes that you have to be everything, right, to just get by. But that's not where things are now. That's not where things have gone to for you in your life, and that's a beautiful thing. It's it is there, and it is ready and waiting for you to say the words. And literally, what is the gift that is coming? It's literally like handing off these burdens and feeling finally good to do that, to be like, I'm all set with this. I don't need this right now. I think you could do a lot better with this. And just watching the magic unfold from there. All right, beautiful pile number 3. That was your reading for today. I hope that you found it useful and helpful. If you did, please do leave a like on this video and perhaps a comment down below. I know I've been a little bit slow on getting back to those. I've been a little busy, but I'm working on being better about that. Yeah, very, again, these all these readings have been for a very like positive thing in your life. So I'm very much looking forward to this for you. Please do let me know maybe how this connected with you. I think I may have already said that. But yes, if you were drawn to any of the other piles, I do have the timestamps down below, and you can hop over to those. If you like what I'm doing and would like to leave me a donation, I have a Ko-fi where you can just leave a couple of bucks for donations. Or if you'd like to actually book a personal reading, I am open for those, and information on how to do that is in the description. As well as if you would like to buy some of these runes for yourself that I can sew, information is down there as well. They're like little squishy bean bags, and they're very nice to handle. So yeah. Anyways, I hope wherever you are that you have a great rest of whatever time it is for you, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.